Let me just say up front, you're an instant billionaire here over the past year, aren't you, because of this Ripple?
Well, Liz, it's certainly been an exciting year, there's no question, and I think the performance of XRP is really just a reflection of the problem it's solving, and solving a real problem at scale. And so the value that's been created, I think, is all about solving a real problem, solving it at scale, and I'm happy to talk more about that.
Well, what's going on here? It's down more than 20% over the past 24 hours. We know that Coinbase said we're not in this yet, but there are a whole bunch of issues at play, and there are people who own this now. They looked at it and said, well, geez, it's about $3 or so. It's much less expensive, certainly, than Bitcoin, which is at thousands and thousands of dollars. So tell me, why is it dropping?
Well, I think over the last 30 days, XRP is up over 1,000%, so 10x. And so I think what you're seeing is, there is a lot of volatility in the digital asset market broadly, and certainly that's true in the Bitcoin market. It's been true for XRP. And I think that's because these markets are very nascent. This is still the earliest innings of the creation of what I think is really going to be a new asset category. And that asset category, I'll keep going back to, it's about real utility solving a real problem. For Ripple, that's using XRP to solve a global payments problem. There's literally $27 trillion of money parked around the world between banks in order for them to settle payments between themselves. Using a digital asset like XRP, the speed of that can be vastly faster and vastly less expensive. Even compared to Bitcoin, XRP is 1,000 times faster and 1,000 times less expensive.
Okay, but let's get to sort of the news of the day and the movement in it. Again, obviously these things are extraordinarily volatile. We're well off 19,000, which was around where the high was for Bitcoin. But you did start with some good news over the past couple of days, and that was the top 3 money transfer sites had agreed and said, we're in. We will use the XRP. We will do this for cross-border transfers. Can you reveal the 3 names of these money transfer companies that have partnered with you guys?
Unlike, I think, some in the crypto community, Ripple has really been very proactive in working with financial institutions,
okay,
working
but the
with
names,
banks, working with payment providers,
I think that would help if you were sort of transparent about the names.
Well, part of working with those companies is we announce when they're ready to announce. There are a lot of rumors about the we are working with American Express today, for example. There were a lot of rumors about that had leaked out of American Express. We didn't confirm that until American Express was ready to confirm that, which we made public in, I think, November. So we've publicly shared we are working with 3 out of the 5 largest in the world. We'll publicly, make those announcements with those customers when they're ready.
Are you concerned about the frantic froth around everything related to the word Bitcoin, the word blockchain? We're thinking of just a couple of weeks ago when a beverage company called Long Island Iced Tea Company just announced to the market, we're changing our name, we're changing, and I think the ticker changed in the last 24 hours, to blockchain, something related to blockchain. We're going into looking at blockchain as an opportunity. That stock, now, what used to be LTEA, Long Island Iced Tea, is now LBCC. I'm assuming the B and the CC have to do with blockchain, is down 20% today. And people have woken up and said, wait a minute, there wasn't really a meaningful change. Does that harm what you feel is a legitimate, and as you say, we're in the incipient early stages of something that could be very valuable?
I think there is no question that's harmful. I'm glad you asked about that, because at the end of the day, we are creating a new category, and you see what I'll call bad actors out there doing things that are bad for the long-term value creation, the long-term solving real problems for real customers. Ripple has announced over 100 customers to work with today, and when I see some of these things happen, I think that's not good for the whole industry. Having thoughtful regulation and working with governments. We announced the fact that we're working with the Bank of England as an example. We announced some things we've done with the U.S. Fed and their faster payments task force. We're going to keep working with the system because I think the early days of Bitcoin were all about down with government and down with banks. Ripple has been, look, governments aren't going away, banks aren't going away. Let's work with the system to dramatically improve the way and reduce the friction for how money moves globally.